The first time I met Will Smith, I was on my way to the PRI show in Indy. He walked up to me. He said, Mr. Reinhardt, my name's Will Smith, and I'm going to drive a Top Fuel car someday. I said, well, I wish you the best of luck. And he has worked it. This is certainly not the first time he's been behind the wheel, but he is chasing a dream, still working the dream, and hey, he's sitting in a Top Fuel car at Indy. I'm not. .382, 312 miles an hour. Nice, smooth, right down the boulevard. Kind of reminds me of the Dale Creasy run. It's certainly not going to end up number one, but that takes every ounce of pressure off. Now, here's the situation. That's Buddy Hall. His car is hulked. And that's Will Smith. The Mack Rack machine here on the right side, the car owned by Larry Dixon, overseen by Tony Shortall, is on the bump at 382. Buddy Hall has his destiny in his own hands. Will Smith can get in without improving. Antron Brown and Will Smith will race tomorrow, and Buddy Hall will go home heartbroken. A smoke of the tires out there from the hulked machine. He goes 733 at 81 miles an hour. Will Smith goes 4 flat at 243, but Will was in. He stays in.
Will Smith is qualified for his first ever national event right here at the U.S. Nationals. And Will, I think all of us are aware of the tireless pursuit that you have put into this. How much of a life accomplishment is this?
It's been a 30-year process. Really cool. Really happy for everybody. Larry, Tony Shortall, our group, just a great group. They've been very patient with me and working with me. I've made some mistakes, and I don't feel I've given them what I would call a perfect run as a driver, and I'm working towards that, really trying to get better. But people like Sean McDonald, Matt Rack, Jim Halsey, Donald Gwynn, everybody that stepped up to help us out, this is Indy. We're going to see what we can do tomorrow.
All right, so, Will, I want to start off with this. Come Monday morning, you're going to be racing in the U.S. Nationals. Just put it into words what's going through your mind right now thinking about that.
You said put it in words. I can't put it in words, you know. It's a surreal moment. It's really cool. It's what you dream of, you know, since I was a kid, you know, I wanted to drive a Top Fuel dragster, and come here last year, you know, there was a stacked field of 26 cars, and I only had 3 runs in a Top Fuel car and just come off a license, you know, a few weeks before that. So a year later, unfortunately hasn't been a full year worth of runs and experience, but I feel as a driver I'm in a much better position with more experience coming off our race in Joliet earlier in this year. But it's Indy, it's the big go. I mean, there was a tough field here this weekend, and the pressure, there was a lot of pressure this weekend, but at the same time there wasn't. You know, we just got a great group of guys here that know how to prepare the car. They know what shots to call, and I have all the faith in the world in them. So in my opinion, what I felt would be the weakest link would be me, and so I'm trying to get better each run and give them more consistent runs, and you know, in my driving techniques from the time that the car starts to the time you pull the chutes. So to answer your question, it's Monday. We're going to be racing at the U.S. Nationals.
And so you set this time all the way back in Q1 on Friday night. You had to sit basically on pins and needles throughout the entire rest of qualifying to hope that you could make it in with the time that you had. What was it like sitting there on the line in Q5, seeing that Antron just knocked you down to 16th, and then knowing you had to more than likely race your way in to try and make the show for Monday? What was that like for you in the car?
I've been in those situations before, and I feel blessed to have been in those situations to help prepare me for this. I was pretty calm in the car. I mean, you can't let it get to you. You have a job to do. You got to get the car from A to B, and you got to do the best job you can. I had no doubts. We have a very consistent car. When it goes down the racetrack, I mean, it likes an 82 to an 84. You know, we've been trying to go quicker with it, and we know we're going to have to do that tomorrow. But A to B, we got a good hot weather, you know, tune-up in the car. And so seeing how the conditions changed from, you know, Friday night till now, we were trying to run quicker than we did. We were shooting for 79 or 80 that night, and it just missed it a little bit. So had we, conquered that and ran a 79 or 80, we would have been in a little different position where there wasn't so much pressure on the day. But that didn't happen, and we had to play the hand we're dealt. So, it was, I guess it was a great opportunity to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but it's just another run.
And so you talked about the fact that you're trying to run that 79. I know that was a goal that you had even back at Chicago. Is it a bit disappointing that you didn't get that time that you're looking for, or is it now that you're qualified as like, screw it, as long as we're in the show?
At the end of the day, you got to be on the show. You got to be in that quick 16. I said coming into the weekend, hey, I want to see my name at least number 16. I'll race from any spot. You can win from any spot. One of my goals coming in the weekends, I was hoping to carry a 370, 9, 8, whatever time slip away. And at this point, we haven't achieved that yet, but did set a personal best laps time and speed. So that's huge for me. But at the end of the day, it's about racing on Monday. If we're on the bottom of the sheet like we are, and we're not the quickest, but we can go the distance, that's what it takes.
And so when you got back here, you had a lot of people coming up to you and congratulating you on making the show, and you told me that your phone was essentially burning because of how many text messages you got. What has the reception been like, and what is the emotion like seeing so many people come up to you just to congratulate you? Because I know someone came up here and was basically losing her mind and was more excited than you were that you're going to be racing on Sunday, just the fact that you made the show.
Yeah, it's very humbling. I've had a lot of great people support me over the years, and it's really cool. You get out of the car and see the guys come down, you do your interview with Amanda, and it's like, it's something I've dreamed of, and to see, you get back after a run and leave my phone here, and you pull up your phone, you see all these legendary people that text you and call you and text you and, congratulate us all on making the show, and they've watched my journey, and it's been a long, hard-fought journey, but I'm proud of the way I've had to do it. It was my only option. Just got to work hard, and I've had a lot of great partners help me out. A lot of people invested in me at an early age, in my brand, to help guide me, mentor me along the way. Larry Dixon, Steve Johnson, these great people, there's so many others. Think about all of our great marketing partners, MacRack, Sean McDonald, he was out this weekend with us, having a blast. Glad we put the show in for him. Jim Halsey, good friend of mine, Cecil County Dragway, Yellow Bullet Nationals going on this weekend. Jim knows my story. He's, we work together on the PDRA side of things. So he wanted to help us out. Tony Toll, Robert A. Toll Incorporated, my buddy Donald Gwynn. So many people, Mark Teague at TICO, have helped me along the way that keep investing in us, and that's what keeps us coming back for more. And, we're hoping we get to the point where we put ourselves in a position where we can obtain a primary partner where we can do this more often, if not a whole season. So that's the ultimate goal here.
And so when you're going through that Q5 run, you had to face off against Buddy Hull, who was the only person left that could knock you out. Did you notice that he had spun the tires? Did you see them outside the side of your car? And when did you realize that the goal that you had was finally realized to make a national and also make Indy?
I think when I turned off the end of the track and saw Amanda, and she's like, "I'm looking for Will Smith," to do the interview. So that's when it set in. But when the pan pressure sensor shut the engine off, and as I'm coasting, at that point I'm assuming Tony and them shut me off, and I expected Buddy to blow by me, and he didn't. And I crossed the finish line, and I still didn't see his time on the scoreboard. And I'm like, we did it, So turning off the end of the track, seeing Amanda, and giving you a Camping World hat to wear for an interview, that's when it started to set in, So.
And so going into tomorrow, going in through all the opening ceremonies, and then getting to race in round one, what are the emotions that you're thinking you're going to be feeling as you prepare for everything that's going to go on come tomorrow morning? And just what are you looking forward to most when you wake up come tomorrow?
Just looking forward to coming out here and just making another run. Not putting any pressure on myself. Just do what I know I'm supposed to do. I'm lying if I say it's only another run, because I've never been in this position before. I've never, been going into race day starting in top fuel, but I will tomorrow. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything from getting the car from, the starting line to the finish line. So it's just another run, and it's up to me to maintain that mentality and execute as Larry Dixon has taught me to do.
Congratulations on making the show, man. Look forward to seeing you around tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.